Hello, my people. Happy Monday. This is actually a special Monday because it's Harper Girl's birthday today. Yeah, so she's finally won, and I say finally as if it took long, but it didn't. Literally, it was one of the quickest years of my life so far. And it's funny because it's funny, you hear every parent say, they grow up so fast, or like time goes by so fast, and it's so cliche, but oh my god, is it ever true, and do they ever grow fast? It's like, I don't know, like a bittersweet moment, I guess. Like I want her to grow up because seeing her grow up and do new things is like my favorite thing, but also like I love her being a baby. Like I've always been a lover of babies. Like they're just so cuddly and cute, and oh, I just love it. But yeah, so I can 100% see why people get like the itch to have another one around this time. Because, like, you know how like kids are like, usually if you have a sibling, they're like 2, maybe 3 years apart. But I guess it's because you see like your baby becoming like a big girl, and it makes you miss like the baby side. But I keep telling myself, because we want to do two for sure, that like we're gonna be able to get to do it again, so it's not sad or whatever. But when it's our last, oh my god, will I ever be sad? Like I'll be like, oh, I'm never gonna get to this again. But at the same time, when they have those nights where you're like, why are you crying? And then you're gonna be like, oh, I never have to do this again. So bittersweet. But yeah. So while you guys are listening to this, actually, me, Harp, and Scott are gonna be at the zoo for Harper's birthday in and with the baby Param. She's never been to the zoo or around that kind of stuff before, so hopefully we're having a good time. She loves animals, like she loves puppies and kitties and stuff like that. So I'm sure, and we go see the cows down the street and the goats. So I'm sure she'll love to see all the other bigger animals. But yeah, so in celebration of Harp's B-Day being today, I kind of wanted to do like a little, almost like a story time for this episode, starting from like October 18th, 2019. So I hope you guys enjoy this, because this is like a recap of the best like year and 9 months of my life so far. But let's get into it. So October 18th, 2019. Obviously getting lucky, but also you guys know from the birth control episode, I haven't been on birth control since I was like 20. So if you want more elaboration on that and why or whatever, listen to the birth control episode. I'm pretty sure it was like the second or third episode. It was a while ago. So, anyways, obviously we had an oopsie, but I like ran down and I peed afterwards, jumped up and down because that works. No science behind it. And as we know from previous episodes about the weird birth control methods, it doesn't work. But yeah. So I carried on with my day because, like, what were the chances of getting pregnant with one oops? Like, I mean, the only oops in 10 years. But, spoiler, higher than you think. Chances way higher than you think. But I did know there could be a chance, but I didn't think it was, like, good. Number one, I didn't think it was going to happen. And number two, I didn't think it was a high chance. But, anyways, went on with my life, got litty titty on my birthday, which was on the 23rd of October. Scotty took me to like a really nice restaurant in Bowmanville called Chanterelle. It was okay, not great, but anyways, let's actually funny side story, if side story is actually a thing, word, whatever. But we went to dinner and she was like, "Oh, can I start you off with drinks?" And I was like, "Yeah, the liter of rosé, please." And she's like, "Okay, 2 glasses," and like went to walk away. And I was like, "Aha, no, just 1 glass." And the look on her face was like, "Oh, so it's that kind of dinner." Mind you, it was a nice restaurant, and I'm getting a liter of wine for myself. So, yeah. Anyways, um, but I look back on that, and I got pretty litty titty on my birthday, and we had a Halloween party slash birthday party on the 26th of October, and I got fucking like so drunk, and I mean like I was having a good time. Also, me and Scotty were Harry and Hermione that year. And I was trying to get him to do that since we've been together every year for Halloween. So that was by far my favorite Halloween. Feeling good, looking fly, had a great time. But the next day, boy, did I feel like a bag of pooey assholes. Oh my God. But here is where it gets odd for me. Okay? So when I look back, we had the oops on the 18th of October. So according to the Flow app, which I was always using anyways, because like I like to know when my period's coming, and if I use my memory, it just doesn't work. But yeah, according to my Flow app, I ovulated on the 21st, which we all know, going back to the episode again a couple of weeks ago, the babies, spermies, can live up there for 3 days. So there you go. Put that together. Yeah. Anyways, I used to do Orange Theory almost every day before I got pregnant. And the week of 28th of October, there was like Hell Week. So I was there every day, and there's like the hardest workouts. But I would work out, and I would get so lightheaded and so sick when working out. And then I would leave. And you know, when you leave the workout and you worked out hard and you're like, oh, I feel skinny, I feel great, I feel light, woo, let's fucking go. I felt super bloated and fat every time I would leave working out, which was super weird. And I remember, because my mom used to work out with me, I told her, I was like, I don't feel right. Every time I'd look, like every time I'd work out, I'd be like, I just don't feel right. I don't feel good. That was the thing. I don't feel good. But yeah, I would just feel huge, bloated, fat. Anyways, also looking back, anytime Scotty would drive, which is not often, but when he would drive, I would get so nauseous, which I attributed to his driving, because his driving wasn't great back then. It's better now because of her, but yeah, it's better now. But yeah, you're probably thinking like, oh, you dummy, you had an oops, you didn't think you could be pregnant. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, obviously I thought I could be pregnant, but I didn't think I'd feel so sick after like 1 week of the oops, right? So anyways, I went to the walk-in, and I did tell them, I'm like, I had like an oopsie a week ago, so could it be pregnancy? And the doctor was like, oh no, you wouldn't feel it this quick, like there's no way. I think it's a UTI. And I was like, no, man. Like, I know it's not a UTI. I've had those. And women in their like 20s, if they get a UTI, it's like always the same symptoms. And I had none of the symptoms. He was treating me like I was that 80-year-old lady who's getting a UTI that just gets like, feels ill. I'm like, no, that's not it. Anyways, he gave me a prescription for antibiotics, and I just threw it away because I knew it wasn't a UTI, because I'm not a fucking idiot. Anyways, so I went to, after that, like I think I went like later in the week, so it was like a Thursday. So then on Monday or Tuesday, I still felt like shit. So I went to, well, I was actually working, and I asked the doctor on lunch if she could just give me, like the doctor I work for, I was like, can you just give me like a quick little like check over or whatever? And she's like, yeah, sure, no worries. So I got like checked out by her, and she was like, she said the same thing the other guy did. Like, it was too early to feel symptoms, so it can't be that. And she said it's probably just like a virus my body was trying to work off. So just like rest and lots of fluids. And I was like, oh, you're probably right. Because like I didn't feel like so sick where I'd have to stay home, but I didn't feel great. I was just like off. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, oh, it's like my body's trying to fight it off. It's not something that's going to take me down. It's just something that I'm going through. So I was like, okay, no worries. So I just carried on with my life, and then finally November 7th came around, and I'm like, I'm just going to go to my family doctor because I don't feel good. Like, I just feel like crap. Maybe it's like, I actually didn't even know. I thought maybe like it could be my gastritis, because my tummy, like I was feeling kind of sick too. So I was like, oh, I'll go to my family doctor, get it all checked out. She did like the whole whatever, um, checkup, and then she sent me for blood work, but she said the same thing as the doctor I worked with. She's like, it's probably something you just need to work through, no big deal. Okay, then it was the 9th, November 9th rolled around, and I was like, oh fuck, I haven't got my period yet, that's weird. But mine was like never really like super on time, but it was always like in the vicinity. But I was like, I'll just take a test, make sure it's negative, just so I can have like peace of mind and continue to have my little bevies, because I would feel bad if I didn't get my period. I knew I had an oops, and I'm drinking beverages. So I was like, oh, I'll just take one, make sure, peace of mind, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, I took the test, and oh my god, 2 lines showed up right on the test, and instantly I was like, holy motherfucker. And Scotty was sitting on the couch playing fucking, I think Fortnite was like the big thing then. And I like walked over because we had like a bungalow. I walked into the main room because the bathroom was like maybe like a jump away. And I was like, Scotty, I was like, it's positive. And I kid you not, the fucker looked at me in the doorway, looked up at the ceiling, went, ha! And then continued to play his game. And I was like, what the fuck? And he like just kept playing his game. So I went back to the bathroom. I literally took 8 tests. I took 5 of the strip tests, which is the same ones that they use when you get one done at the doctor's. And I took 2 clear blues, and I took one of the first response for the words, so it said like yes or no and how many weeks, and literally all positive. I remember I had them all lined down my vanity. And then Scotty came in and he was like, I'm going to pee on one to make sure they're not malfunctioning. And I was like, okay, it's a good idea. Like, obviously, we're not thinking, like, whatever. Anyways, and his was negative. Don't worry, guys. It was all negative. He's good. He wasn't pregnant, too. That would have been unfortunate. But, and honestly, the rest of the day, we just sat there quietly, like, so in shock all day. And to be honest, we were like, I guess scared isn't the word because like it's not like we're 16. Like we had a house, we both had good jobs and whatnot. It was just very surprising because I don't know, we were having a good, like, you know what I mean? Like we're in the time of our life we were just having a good time. Like none of our friends had kids. We weren't planning on like having kids until like, or maybe even like starting to like think about it until like 27, 28. So I know you're like, well, you should have been more careful. Okay, listen, guys. Number one, I hadn't been on birth control since I was like 20. And I was with the Pull-Out King. Like, we had it down to a fucking science. And literally, like, after I got pregnant with Harp, I looked this up. You can only get pregnant, like, 8 hours of the day of ovulation, I'm pretty sure. So, like, come on, give me a break. But I guess, like, the universe had a different plan for us. And I'm glad it did, 100%. But yeah, continuing on, we told our families around the beginning of December. My mom and dad were going away on a cruise. So they were getting back right before Christmas. And I was like, I don't want to wait that long because I'd already been holding it in for whatever. And we told Scotty's family all together almost. We told like his siblings all together, but we like separately told his parents. But yeah. As soon as the 12-week mark hit, we told our friends. Funny, so it was New Year's, and my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law were having a party, like a New Year's party or whatever. And it was like a nice, like, they wanted to do like a kind of like a formal thing, even though it was just at their house. But it was nice to get dressed up. But I was popping, man. So like I had to wear something frumpy as fuck, so everyone's looking nice, and there's frumpy old Brie. But before New Year's hit, like it probably was like an hour before because we didn't want to like completely like make Happy New Year's about us, but we gave them a box and like everyone was gonna open it, and our friend Courtney opened it, and we had like the ultrasound in, so we got to tell all our friends at once, which was pretty cool. But yeah, then I could change into my cute outfit, which like I don't know why I popped so early because like usually you don't pop that early with your first kid. And Harp was a small baby. She was only 6'6" when she was born. So, I don't know. But, yeah, so then we told our friends, but COVID hit in March, and I got laid off in March. So, literally, from March on, like, till, I think shit started opening up, June 2020, I was just chilling at home. And, to be honest, for me, I'm not gonna lie because that's stupid and I hate when I see people do it on Instagram and shit. Like, pregnancy was a bitch for me. Like, the acid reflux was fucking horrible. I would literally wake up and not eat or drink anything. I wouldn't even have had anything and I would already have acid reflux. Even if I had a sip of water, acid reflux. Go to bed, acid reflux. Anything. It was ridiculous. And I had major food aversions. Like, I could not eat meat to save my life. I couldn't even look at it. I would avoid it in the grocery store. Scott went meatless for a couple months. But loved ice cream and carbs, so put that together, how much I fucking gained. I think I gained like a total of almost four, no, yeah, it was like 38 pounds. I remember the lady, because like when I got pregnant, I was 160, but I was like a fit 160 because I was working out like every day, so I was like a strong fit. And the lady, when I when I went into labor and they were like doing all the paperwork or whatever, she's like, "How much do you weigh?" I'm like, "Oh, 198." And she's like, "Oh, so 200?" I was like, "No, no, no. 198. Don't give me the extra 2." I was like, my goal was to stay like under 40. So when she's like 200, I was like, "No, no, no. No, no. 198. Thank you very much." But yeah. So back to the pregnancy, fucking my feet looked like little fucking sausages. I had no ankles. Couldn't even wear shoes. All I wore were these like ugly oversized Birkenstocks that were horrible. And my back pain was fucking out the a-hole. It hurt so bad. But anyways, let's fast forward to the due date because the end of my pregnancy was just miserable. It was so fucking hot. I would not ever suggest people being pregnant for the summer because it was way too fucking hot. Anyways, for my due date, we got up any other day, normal. I didn't think anything of it because obviously no one ever goes on their due date. Like it's so rare. I think I looked it up and it was like 3 or 5% or something that actually go on their due date. So like I made plans with my mom because Scotty was golfing. We went and had lunch, I think at Baxter's Landing, and then we went to her friend's house to pick some stuff up. And we were like standing around talking at her friend's house for a long time, and like my back started to hurt, but I was fucking massive. So I was like, I've been standing for a while. I need to go home and just chill. Anyways, we left, and I was driving my mom home, and I started to feel contractions, but like I'd felt them before because I had the Braxton Hicks, so I didn't know if they were just Braxton Hicks again. So I said like, "Okay, mom, like I'm feeling contractions, but I don't know if they're Braxton Hicks, but I'm fine right now, so I'm just gonna time them. I'm gonna drop you off at your house. And I'm gonna go home and just chill out." Well, I dropped my mom off, and then by the time I got home, there were way more intense, the contractions. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, this could be like the real deal." Because they were like evenly apart. Like Braxton Hicks, you'll usually like, they won't be evenly apart. They'll be randomly spread out and they'll be different. So I was like, "Oh, I gotta go pee." So I went home, went pee, and then wiped, and I saw the show. Look it up if you don't know what it is, and if you want to see it, because I'm not going into that right now, but Google it. It's called Show Pregnancy. Just like Google, like, what is the pregnancy show, and you'll see it. So I knew it was legit after I saw that. So I called my mom and I was like, so it's legit. She said, "Okay, I'm gonna drive over." And then I hung up with her. And I lived in Newcastle and she was like by Mossport, so it was like maybe like a 15-minute drive. Which was annoying because I just dropped her off, so I should have just brought her home with me. But anyways, I called Scotty next, who was on the golf course, like he is now. And I was like, "Oh, hey, what hole are you on?" He was like, "I'm on the 18th." And then I was like, "Okay, don't rush. Just finish your round and then come home because I think it's happening. Like, it's time. It's time." Like, and he was like, "Oh, fuck, okay." He's like, "So no beers after?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, no beers after. Just get home." So, I hung out with my mom, and then Scotty got home, which was, I think he got home at like 6 because he was golfing in Pickering with my dad. When I started feeling the contractions, it was like 3, so I'd been like chilling for 3 hours. But Scotty got home, we got our bags ready, and like he went to bed because my contractions were still like 10 to 12 minutes apart. Like they were far apart. So he went to bed because he didn't know when he was going to be able to sleep again, right? And I just like piddled around the house for a little bit, having contractions. I went and had a shower because I didn't know when I was going to get a shower in there. Got ready, rummaged around, and like it was like 3 a.m. I think when I woke him up. And I was like, "Okay, we gotta go. But you gotta help me change the bed sheets first." And they were like 5 minutes apart, so it was getting pretty intense. But it was funny because I made him change the bed sheets because I was like, "I need a clean, put together bed when I get home." Which is weird. I don't know, when you get pregnant and like you're in that weird phase, you want everything to be perfect when you get home, but really it doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, we went to Oshawa, and Oshawa was great. Anyone who's pregnant or looking for like, "Oh, should I deliver here?" everyone, like, I've heard bad things about Oshawa, but I had nothing but good things to say. So if you're looking to have your baby there, it was great. Anyways, we pulled into the parking garage, and this fucking motherfucker handed me bags to carry up, and then made me walk up the fucking. Well, from, if you guys know Oshawa, you go to the parking garage, and then you got to go through it, and it was COVID, so we had to get screened. And then I'm walking up to the elevator and then taking the elevator. So I had like probably 4 contractions all the way up till we got there. And at this point, it was fucking ridiculously painful. But we checked in, which I had the paperwork filled out prior, which your OB tells you to, and it's way worth it because I was not down to sign papers there. But yeah, in Oshawa, when you go into labor, or at least this is what happened to me, they check you in, and then you go into a 4-person room, but it's like obviously dividers and stuff, until you're so far along, and once you're like far enough along, they'll put you in your own delivery room that you get for yourself. So when we got there, I was like 4, and they checked me, and they're like, "Oh, you're 4. So you're gonna stay in this room for a little bit." And I was in so much fucking pain, like it was insane. Also, I had back labor with Harp, and for anyone who doesn't know, back labor. So when you have a baby in a regular delivery, whatever that looks like for you, the baby's, when it comes out, the face is like on the, like where your spine is, so it's like a lot softer to go down your spine. But with Harp, she was turned around, so her back of her skull was going down my spine as she was coming down. And oh my god, it fucking hurt so bad. Like you have no idea. I say this, but like you have no idea. So I asked, and they're like, you can't get the epidural till you're 5 centimeters. And I was like, what, 1 centimeter? Like, what the fuck? But they're like, we can give you this shot to ease the pain. And I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. So they gave me the shot in my ass, and then it was been like an hour, and the pain was still bad. But I was like, pain's still bad, and I don't feel good. I was like, I don't think the shot worked. And this fucking lady then proceeds to tell me after the fact I had the shot that, oh no, honey, the shot doesn't take away the pain. It's just between contractions. It will help you rest easily. And I was like, okay, so essentially, I am still feeling everything, but just high as fuck and nauseous as fuck. Then she proceeds to check me and tell me I'm only 4 centimeters still, so I need to get up and walk around, or I can go home for a little bit. And then she's like, you decide, and when I come back, we'll do whatever you decide. As soon as that lady left, I turned around to Scott and I said, I'm not fucking leaving this place. It's not happening. And he laughed. So, high in pain Brie, nauseous as fuck, got my pregnant in labor ass up. And I walked, literally, me and Scott walked 100 laps of this floor, contractions and everything, with a fucking mask on, may I add, because of fucking COVID. And so I'm having contractions in the middle of the hallway with a mask on in a robe. So that was fun. The last lap, though, I literally ran back into the room because I was going to vomit because of the nausea from this. I even forget what it was, the shot. I'm not stupid. I'm a nurse, but I never worked in L&D, so I have no idea what they gave me. And I don't even remember. They probably told me, and I was just like, oh, take away the pain? Okay, give it to me. Let's go. But yeah, after I vomited everywhere, I laid down, and then they came and checked me, and they're like, oh, you're 6 now. And I was like, okay, cool. Epidural, please? And they're like, no, we have to get you to a delivery room first. So once we got into the delivery room, I finally got my epidural. And was it blessed? Oh my god, was it ever. I couldn't feel fuck all. It was fucking awesome. And then I proceeded to have a nap for about an hour. I love that I know, okay, if any of you moms out there are listening, so I was debating the epidural, and looking back, if it wasn't back labor, I probably could have done it if it was a quick labor without the epidural. But Harper was 32 hours of labor, and I feel like if I didn't get the epidural, I wouldn't have had enough energy after all these contractions and everything to push. So, if you're thinking maybe epidural, maybe not. What I did, because I was like on the fence before I knew what was going to go down, just sign the epidural papers and just have them ready so it's an option. That's what I would say. I mean, your birth experience is your birth experience, but I just had the paper signed, so I had the option. And it ended up working out because I needed it because of the fucking back labor. It was horrid. Anyways, I had a nap for like an hour, and then I woke up. This is so funny. I woke up to Scott snoring so fucking loud, which I'm used to. Like, I obviously sleep next to him every night. But the funny part was the nurse, because you only, like, it's only one nurse per case in labor and delivery. But she was, like, sitting there at the desk in the room trying to do paperwork. And he was so loud, and she was fucking dying laughing because he's got, like, mouth wide open. I actually have a video of it, and I can't post it because he'll be so mad. But it was hilarious. But yeah, anyways, it was about 8 p.m. after they finally like came and checked me. I know it was like a long fucking day. And I was fully dilated, fully effaced. Again, if you don't know what fully effaced means, look it up. Not going into it. Also, they checked me and they were like, oh, she's facing towards the back still. Let's roll you on your side, put a weird little peanut ball between your legs and see if she flips. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm fully dilated and everything, and you're telling me I need to wait? So I had to sit there for another 2 hours and until they came in again. And guess what? At this point, the epidural was gone. Like, so fuck me, right? But they were still like, oh, they come back in, they check me, like, oh, she's still in the same position. Okay, let's just push. And I was like, oh, where was this idea 2 hours ago? If we could have just pushed, I would have just pushed. Why did I need to sit for 2 hours with this fucking ball between my legs? But anyways, I started pushing, and oh my god, did it hurt. Literally, it felt like my back was breaking. And I even said, I pushed once, and then I said, I was like, I feel like my back's gonna break. And this fucking doctor, and I feel like I know a lot of doctors. I've been around a lot of doctors, and I've never experienced this in my life. She blatantly says, oh, that's your tailbone and it might break. And I literally looked at Scott and I was like, what the fuck did she just say? And then she's like, okay, let's push again. So then again, I pushed. And then this doctor with, again, no social skills was like, oh, we may not be able to get this out naturally, but we'll try and push anyway. I fucking looked at Scott and I was like, what the fuck? And then I immediately like started crying because I was like, oh no, this means a C-section, which at this point with COVID, if you had a C-section, Scott wasn't able to come with me. And that was like my nightmare of this whole COVID giving birth thing, was he wasn't going to be with me. But anyways, I pushed again, popped Harp out. It was the best day of my life. Like 20 minutes of pushing, worth every minute of the pain. But yeah, she was out. And I don't know. It was so quick and everything was going. And I was like, anyways, it was funny because Scotty didn't know that obviously their head elongates once they come out of the birth canal. So he told me like the day later, he's like, oh my God, when she came out, her head, I thought something was wrong because it was so long, but no one looked worried and everyone seemed like it was normal. And then they put a hat on, so I didn't say anything. And I just started laughing. It's just funny that he's just like, oh, okay, I guess that's normal. But boys, but yeah, he got to cut the cord. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, when I got my epidural, Scotty almost passed out. Like, what a cliche. I guess knees weak, arms are heavy. Anyways, okay, back to this. Get sidetracked. She came out looking all weird, and I fell in love that moment. So crazy that, like, when you get pregnant, to be honest, you have no fucking idea what it is. Like, zero idea what it is, what it's going to mean to be a mom. You think, oh, it's fine. Like, it'll just whatever. But I remember usually when you have, like, a baby, you stay like 2 nights after. But Harp was, like, super jaundiced. So, we had needed, like, these UV treatments. I'm actually going to post the picture. It actually looks so ridiculous because with the UV treatments, they go in this little, like, incubator thing. And, they put this, like, band around their, like, kind of, yeah, it's like a band, like a nylon band around their eyes, so they don't get the UV right in their eyes. But then they had it printed on the UV band, like a picture of sunglasses. Oh my god, it looks so ridiculous. I'll post it on my story because, like, I look at it still to this day and I die. But anyways, back to the mommy life. I remember her going into the incubator, and it was like an all day thing. The only time you can like take them out for those treatments is when you have to feed her, and like you feed her quickly and then you change her and that's it. So even if she's in there and she's crying, you can't take her out. And I remember I fucking cried and cried the whole time during the treatments, which if anyone knows me, I am not a crier or a soft person whatsoever, but freaking Harp has made me so soft over the past year of her being here. And mind you, it's only like I'm only soft or cry over happy things with her, which I never used to do. But I realized having a kid, it's like your heart is like walking around out of your body all the time. And to be honest, it's fucking scary. And like, let me tell you, I never thought having a kid would change me the way it did. Like, I can't even put it into words. Like, you know, when people are like, oh, I love you so much, I can't put it into words. I literally can't put it into words. You'll never be able to have words to express how you feel. You can try if you guys can. Any mommies out there, let me know because I can't. I don't even know. But, anyways, yeah, watching her grow over this past year has been an absolute, like, blessing. It's like one of my favorite things I've ever experienced in my life, and I get to experience it for the rest of my life. So, yeah, that was my little story about how Harpy Girl came into the world. Got any if anyone's pregnant out there, or you have questions or anything, or thinking about getting pregnant or whatever, message me. I'll do I'm not a fucking pro, but I will do the best I can. If you even have questions about Oshawa Hospital or anything, let me know. I'll message you back. But yeah, that was my story. So happy first birthday, my little Harpy Girl. Shout out. It's crazy. But this brings me also into my new segment I want to do. So on I want to do like the first Monday of every month. I want to do a mom day. Like instead of Monday, it's like a play, like a mom day episode. But it'll be things like parenting, mom hacks, talking with moms, midwives. I want to get on here. Maybe some grandmas, maybe doulas would be cool. But I thought this would be fun, especially because I know a lot of my listeners are around the age where everyone's thinking about babies or having babies. So, yeah. And boy, do I have some fucking stories for you. Just in my year, I have some stories. But yes, I'm thinking, like I said, every first Monday of the month, maybe. If that's cool with you guys. If you guys don't like that idea, then let me know. But let's get into some fails of the week. And knock on wood. Where's some wood? Fucking there. Knock on wood. I didn't have any fails this week. I had like a pretty mellow week, which was nice. Actually, I put Harp down for her late nap, which is like 3 to 4:30 to 5ish. So she still goes down at 3, and then usually like an hour and a half to 2 hours, which is great. And then I was like, oh, Scotty, because he works from home downstairs, I was like, is it cool Harp's having her long nap if I run some errands while she sleeps? And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Man, you would think I was going on a first date. I was so fucking excited that I was just going to go shopping without a baby. And I was just in a great mood after that. I was like, yep, highlight of my week. For those of you who don't know, though, shopping with a baby is... You have to put them in and out of the car every time because, well, I guess if you have the click and go when they're really little, when they're in the little seat, it's way easier. But Harp's big now, so she's in the bigger girl seat, and I have to take her in and out, strap her in each time, which she hates. I also have to put her friggin' in and out of the stroller, take it in and out of the car, in the trunk every time, fold it up. Also, you're most likely to run into a nap time if you're doing a day shop. It's just a lot, right? So me going by myself was like a mini vacay. And that's like a highlight of my week if I'm like that. It was great. It was fucking fantastic. Plus, I got to listen to the music I wanted really loud. Didn't have to listen to the Wiggles or Coco Melon. But on a side note, shout out to Dustin Poirier for winning the fights. I don't know if any of you guys watched the fights, but he won. Scott and I had some friends over that night. And the guys, it was like couple friends. Sorry, so tired today. It was a couple, like, when I say couple friends, I mean, like, couples, like, pairs. Like, our friends were in their couples. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. So the guys, they're like, oh, we'll go for McGregor. And the girls were like, oh, we'll go for Poirier. And we're like, we'll make it interesting. If the guys win, you can go on to a nice golf course for the day. We'll drive you to and from so you can drink, and we'll pay for it. And then if we win, we get to go on a wine day to Rolling, I think it's called Rolling Grape. Rolling Grape. It's in Bewdley. And we want to ride to and from the winery, and we want you guys to pay. And they're like, yep, good. Sounds good. And safe to say, I am looking forward to my wine day, people. So, yeah, pretty excited about that. Love them for coming through for the girls. Fail of the week. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Anyways, fails of the week. So I only got one this week, so I guess you guys had a good week too. So drive all the way to work in Newmarket, forget my phone, drive all the way back to Oshawa, get it, and then drive all the way to Newmarket again. I mean, I feel like we've all done something similar to this. Newmarket's far as fuck, so that's way worse. But I feel like at that point, I would have just been, like, calling in sick. Because with your traffic, like, half the day is fucking gone anyways. But maybe you didn't have that option, but fuck. Jesus. Ugh. Yeah, that was the only fail. Oh, fuck. I did have a fail of the week. Oh my god, I completely forgot. Okay. So, here we go, baby. Let's get this going. My mom drives to my house to go grocery shopping together, but we have to, like, switch. She drives to my house so we can switch into the van because that's where Harp's seat is, and I just don't like moving in and out. Anyways, we got back to my place after the groceries, so I put her groceries in her car, and then I put my phone on top of her car. Yeah, you see where this is going? So she leaves, and I'm like, where the fuck is my phone? Which I lose it all the time ever since I've had Harp. Like, I got so many more things to keep track of. My phone is, like, the least of my concerns. So I called my mom on Scott's phone, and I asked her, and she's like, oh, I'm driving, but I'll check the back seat when I get home. So I'm like, okay, cool. She gets home, and it was still on top of her fucking car. It made it all the way from my house. I'm in Millbrook. She lives in it's Bowmanville, but it's like Mossport, so it's like North Bowmanville. And so that means she drove on the 115. I mean, yes, this is a fail of the week, but I'm lucky as fuck too, man, that phone was still there. She drove on the 115. Like, that's like it's a 90 highway, but people do like a $120. I mean, I do a $120. Anyways, someone was looking out for your girl that day. I don't know who it was, but someone. Thank you. Also, guys, I did get some sunburn photos, but unfortunately they were only for my eyes. So they were good, but I cannot share, guys, so sorry. If y'all want to send ones that aren't nudes, that would be greatly appreciated, but the nudes are appreciated too because they gave me laughs. Not the body, but like one of my friends sent me a nude of her sunburn, and she had put nice emojis over her nipples, which was very nice, made me giggle. But yeah, if you want to send ones that are shareable, that would be great. I will catch you up, guys. Fucking big news. I got countertops, a sink, running water, a dishwasher, all in my kitchen now. I know. How excited am I? You have no idea. I can cook meals now, clean dishes, so this means no paper plates, no plastic utensils, no more air fryers, Instapots, or microwaves only to cook from. Like, I feel like the fucking queen with all these luxuries. But seriously, it feels super good. Like, I'll put up a video on Instagram today, so if you want a little visual update, but I'm so in love, and it doesn't look bad at all, the panels, so we're going to keep them for now. But I'm just excited. So backsplash, a couple lights, some furniture, and a little more trim on the main floor, and it's almost done. So, like, the light is there, guys. We're getting closer to the light. I can see it. Okay, I'm going to let you off here, guys. because I gotta go pack my shit for tomorrow because I recorded this previously, obviously. Day trips with kids require a lot of packing, so wish me luck. I guess I'm there now as you're listening, so you can wish me luck, but it's already happened. Let's go into the song of the week. Actually, the song of the week is a new one, just got released. It's called Stay. It's by Justin Bieber and the Kid Leroy. It's a good one. It's not amazing, but it is a good listen. All right, guys. Love you all, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.